It's been a wild week for folks who are following Digimon Adventure 2020, so right off the bat, let me tell you this isn't just an episode 28 review, but also a recap of the week's biggest Digimon news. Off the top, I've got to tell you that we are now almost certain that the Millenniummon evolution line is our series' big bad, and that Omegamon or Omnimon is very likely to be getting a new form in this series. And where did we learn this? From all of places, it was actually the new Bandai Digivice virtual pet game. Folks who were lucky enough to place an order on the premium Bandai 2020 Digivice received their orders in the mail late last week, and many people took to the internet to share their findings. It turns out the game's enemies follow the order of the new show perfectly, with baddies like Angemon, Devimon, and even the little eyeball dudes from the pilot episode appearing. But what is super important to note is that the final fights of the main game are the Moon Millenniummon crystal form and the Millenniummon formed from Machinedramon and Chimeramon. There's actually a secret world and secret boss, so this could either be a final boss for the series, maybe that little seed we saw Devimon acknowledging a few months ago, or it could be a game exclusive since it's treated like a secret boss. Maybe it's not in the show after all. Okay, so that's big news number one. We've speculated for weeks here that Moon Millenniummon is going to be a part of this new show, and even asked if Rio might come along as a late series addition to the Digidestined. But big news number two of the week, which also comes from the Digivice game, is that Omegamon is very likely getting a second form in this series, and specifically Omegamon Alter S. This form is the byproduct of Blitzgreymon and Cresgarurumon, who also appear in the game, making it very likely that not only is Omegamon getting a second form in the 2020 show, although I guess it'll be 2021 by the time that happens, but that Angemon and Gabumon are getting alternate mega forms. That's right, it's not enough to get Alteros and Sagittarius modes for the ultimate Kanzai forms. Tai and Matt's special treatment will likely continue and result in dual megas for their Digimon partners. So needless to say, it's been a pretty busy week in the digital world here. There are also episode descriptions for the next 3 or so episodes that were translated into English, but I'm not going to cover those here just because they feel kind of like leaks, and I haven't made up my mind on how to cover that stuff yet. But if you want to seek it out, it does exist. So all that new is on top of the episode itself, which we'll finally talk about now. This week saw TK and Angemon stand up to DarkKnightmon while the other Digimon were immobilized after an intense fight the week prior. Break time is truly over for these guys. The battle begins and is accompanied with a new track that caught my ear. I wonder if this will be the Holy Digimon battle theme, like how Be the Winner is the theme for Champions and Extreme Fight is the ultimate theme. The battle is impressive and full of a few Dragon Ball Z beam struggle, punch harder moments that were entertaining, but soon after that, Angemon's wings grow and grow and grow. We see him revert to Patamon and DarkKnightmon revert to Skullknightmon. And then after that, all the kids are scattered across the continent. It's believed that this was Angemon protecting the kids. Also worth noting that in the fight, DarkKnightmon had his eyes on Kari. It's possible that DarkKnightmon is the one that called her to the digital world 2 episodes ago. So the team is separated again, which I'm not ecstatic about because they just reunited, but it led to some pretty fun setups, such as Joe bathing with Nanimon, which was incredible. TK shows some genuine bravery here that impresses Yamato and Garurumon, but also impressed me a great deal. Taichi, Hikari, and Agumon make their way to the others when they're blocked by a Digimon benefiting from that lightning power, Volkdramon. Metal Greymon is required, and so is his Alteros mode Railgun. There are a handful of beam struggles, but our heroes come out on top when the combined motivation of Hikari and Taichi allows Agumon to enter that proto-Wargreymon phase a second time. I love this golden Wargreymon, the way they are making him out to be even more divine than that of a holy Digimon. It's super cool, and it just gets you excited for when we get to see the real deal. Taichi and Wargreymon win, but with Agumon completely exhausted, Skullknightmon reappears, swoops in, and steals Hikari, confirming that it was in fact her that he was interested in. After all the hard work that Angemon did to get the kids away from DarkKnightmon, he caught up to them and retrieved Kari in less than 15 minutes, so that plan was a bust on Angemon's end. Overall, it was a fine episode. It was sort of overshadowed by the big news from the week at the top of the video, the Millenniummon confirmation and the Omegamon stuff. But interestingly, this episode fed into both of those theories, making them feel even more accurate. Moon Millenniummon Crystal was focused in on again in this episode, and Wargreymon appearing again in episode 28 of the show, less than halfway through the series mind you, kind of suggests that there's plenty of room left for another mega level Agumon form to surprise and delight us fans. It's a 7 out of 10 for me, but do let me know what you thought about this episode and what you thought about the news related to Digimon featured in the 2020 Digivice game. Did anyone else feel super nostalgic looking at those pixel animated Digimon again? I miss those Digivice games. Next time they release a new shipment or a second line of 2020 Digivice, I've got to order myself one. If you haven't already, please hit subscribe to be informed when new Digimon content is out on this channel. There's at least one Digimon video every week and some bonus videos every now and then, such as this week's In Defense of Digimon the Movie video essay. Go watch that if you haven't. Until next week, take it easy. Oh, and if my mic sounded bad today, I apologize. I'm testing out a new format for recording audio. Okay, peace.